Ford just dropped a hint that could send shockwaves through the truck world. And if you drive a pickup, or you're thinking about buying one soon, you need to hear this before you sign on the dotted line for another EcoBoost. There is a rumor spreading fast among truck enthusiasts across the country, and it involves a naturally aspirated V8 that some are already calling the Mini-Zilla. If this engine becomes Ford's next big truck power plant, it could completely change the conversation about whether EcoBoost is still the smart choice for pickup buyers in America. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why so many Ford fans are talking about this engine right now. For more than 10 years, EcoBoost has ruled the headlines. Ford swapped traditional V8 power for turbocharged V6 engines across much of its truck lineup, promising drivers better fuel economy without giving up towing muscle or performance. Millions of F-150 owners bought into that promise, and Ford poured enormous resources into perfecting turbocharged technology. But now, a different engine is stealing the spotlight, and it is not turbocharged at all. The story starts with Ford's heavy-duty trucks. A few years back, Ford rolled out the 6.8-liter overhead valve V8 alongside its bigger sibling, the 7.3-liter Godzilla. The 7.3 quickly built a reputation for serious torque, toughness, and dead simple design. But the smaller 6.8-liter has been quietly earning its own following, mainly because it shares so much of the same architecture as the Godzilla. Instead of building a completely separate engine from scratch, Ford essentially shrank down the Godzilla formula, and that is exactly how it picked up the nickname Mini-Zilla. Here is why that matters. EcoBoost engines depend on turbochargers, intercoolers, direct injection, and a maze of extra plumbing to make their power. The 6.8-liter skips all of that in favor of a straightforward pushrod design. For a lot of truck owners, that simplicity is the whole point. A naturally aspirated V8 has fewer parts working under extreme stress. There are no turbos spinning past 100,000 RPM, no boost hoses to worry about, and far fewer systems that can turn into a diagnostic nightmare down the road. That does not automatically make one engine superior to the other, but it explains why commercial fleets and long-term owners keep gravitating toward traditional V8 setups. Reliability has become a much bigger deal than ever for truck shoppers. As pickups get more advanced, buyers are not just chasing horsepower numbers anymore. They are thinking hard about what maintenance looks like once the warranty runs out, and how much a repair bill might cost 5 or 10 years down the road. Turbocharged engines can deliver incredible performance, especially at altitude or under heavy towing loads, but that performance comes with added complexity under the hood. For anyone planning to keep a truck for 10 or 15 years, engine design starts to matter just as much as fuel economy on the window sticker. That mindset is a big part of why the 6.8-liter keeps generating buzz among long-term truck owners and fleet managers alike. Right now, Ford only puts this engine in its heavy-duty Super Duty lineup, but enthusiasts have started wondering out loud whether it could eventually show up in lighter trucks or other future performance applications down the road. To be clear, Ford has not announced any plans to drop the 6.8-liter into the F-150 or to phase out EcoBoost. This is still speculation coming from enthusiasts, not a confirmed roadmap from the company. Still, it is easy to see why people are talking. The 6.8-liter shares serious DNA with the beloved 7.3-liter Godzilla, while its smaller displacement could make packaging simpler and potentially cut manufacturing costs too. Drivers who prefer naturally aspirated power often point to throttle response as another major selling point. Without a turbo that needs to spool up and build boost, power shows up instantly. Whether you are pulling away from a red light, climbing a steep grade, or backing a trailer into a tight spot, that immediate, predictable feel is something a lot of drivers genuinely miss when they switch to a turbocharged engine. Sound plays into it too. For generations, the deep rumble of a Ford V8 has been part of the whole truck experience. EcoBoost engines are impressive machines, no question. But plenty of enthusiasts still connect that classic V8 growl with toughness and long-term durability. Now, let us talk performance, because the numbers matter here. Ford's current 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 puts up horsepower and torque figures that rival or even beat plenty of naturally aspirated V8s on the market today. It remains one of the strongest towing engines you can get in a half-ton pickup, and that is not something Ford is likely to give up easily. But raw numbers do not tell the whole story. Plenty of buyers simply want an engine that builds its power without leaning on forced induction. They care more about mechanical simplicity, a proven design, and lower long-term repair bills than they do about squeezing out the last few horsepower on a spec sheet somewhere. This whole Mini-Zilla conversation is really part of a bigger shift happening across the entire truck industry right now, and it is worth paying close attention to. Manufacturers are clearly rethinking how much buyers still value old-school V8 power. Ram brought the legendary Hemi V8 back after customers made it very clear they still wanted it, even after the brand introduced the Hurricane Inline 6. General Motors keeps pouring money into new generations of small-block V8s for Chevy and GMC. And Ford itself still builds the 5.0-liter Coyote V8 right alongside its EcoBoost lineup, proof that demand for naturally aspirated power has not gone anywhere. The rumored Mini-Zilla is simply the next chapter in that story. Some enthusiasts are already dreaming big about this engine as a solid foundation for aftermarket builds and future performance projects. The Godzilla family has already proven itself in racing and high-horsepower projects. Since the 6.8-liter shares so much of that same design philosophy, many expect it would respond just as well to upgrades like camshaft swaps, cylinder head work, or even forced induction for drivers chasing serious power. Again, none of that is official. It is all enthusiast speculation for now. Fuel economy is still the one category where EcoBoost keeps its clear advantage over a traditional V8. Turbocharged, downsized engines were built from the ground up to boost efficiency without sacrificing towing capability. And under a lot of everyday driving conditions, they simply beat larger, naturally aspirated V8s at the pump, sometimes by a noticeable margin. That means the choice for most buyers really comes down to efficiency versus simplicity, depending on how the truck actually gets used day to day. If you are racking up highway miles on a daily commute, EcoBoost is probably still your best bet for saving money on gas. If you are hauling equipment every single day, or you plan on keeping your truck for a few 100,000 miles, a naturally aspirated V8 might make a lot more sense for your situation. Neither engine is objectively better than the other. They just serve different kinds of drivers with different needs. What makes this whole Mini-Zilla story so interesting is that it reflects something bigger going on across the entire pickup market. After years of downsized, turbocharged engines becoming the industry standard, buyers are once again showing real interest in big displacement gasoline V8s, and manufacturers are responding by continuing to invest in traditional engine development instead of walking away from it. Whether Ford ever expands the role of the 6.8-liter is still up in the air. For now, it stands as one of the more intriguing options in Ford's heavy-duty lineup, and a reminder that old-school engineering still has plenty of loyal fans. If the Mini-Zilla eventually lands in more Ford trucks, it could turn into one of the most significant V8 stories of the entire decade. Until that happens, EcoBoost remains one of Ford's flagship technologies, delivering excellent performance, serious towing capability, and strong efficiency across the entire lineup, from the F-150 all the way up to the Super Duty trucks. But one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. The V8 is not going anywhere anytime soon, no matter how good turbocharged technology gets. The growing excitement around the 6.8-liter Godzilla proves that plenty of truck buyers still believe there is no real substitute for displacement, and that simple, naturally aspirated power still has a very bright future ahead of it. So if you are cross-shopping trucks right now, keep a very close eye on this engine, because it might end up changing your next purchase more than you expect. Let us know in the comments below which one you would choose, and make sure to subscribe for more truck news like this.